Across the vast landscape of Africa, most of the wars that have been fought on the African continent started due to greed, ethnic difference, and independence. And even though most of these wars have ended, some nations are still suffering from the effects of the war. In no particular order, it has been marked by conflict that have shaped the destiny of each nation. Today we dive into an annal of war to uncover the top 7 most deadly wars fought on the African continent. These are tales of courage, tragedy, and the relentless pursuit of independence and power. And at number 7 we have the Burundian Civil War, a conflict rooted in ethnic tension, ranged from 1993 to 2005. It began following the country's first multi-party election and the assassination of the first democratically elected president, Malcho Ndadaye. Burundi is a nation with a complex past that saw a power struggle between the Hutu majority and the Tutsi minority, a divided excavated by colonial rule. The war claimed approximately 300,000 lives, leaving a legacy of trauma and a quest for justice. Despite the Arusha Accord of the subsequent peace agreement, the scar of war remained. The road to reconciliation has been long, continuing to the 21st century. And at number 6 we have Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone Civil War began on the 23rd of March 1991, when the Revolutionary United Front, with the support of Charles Taylor's force in Liberia, launched a campaign to overthrow the government, making a start of an 11-year-old deal that will scar the nation. The war was characterized by brutal violence and human rights abuses, including the infamous use of child soldiers. The RUF, the Revolutionary United Front, seeking control of the country's lucrative diamond mines, funded their insurgency with blood diamonds. The conflict saw multiple coups and shifting alliances, with the government struggling to maintain control. In 1992, a military coup led by National Provisional Ruling Council promised change but only escalated the violence. International intervention comes in various forms, with the United Kingdom playing a significant role in the later stage. The war officially ended on January 18, 2002, leaving behind a staggering toll of over 50,000 dead and millions displaced. The aftermath of the war effort to rebuild the nation, seek justice for war crime, and restore peace of the life of Sierra Leoneans. The Sierra Leone Civil War is a stark reminder of cause of conflict and the resilience of the people determined to find peace and rebuild their country. And at number 5 we have the Liberian Civil War. The first Liberian Civil War was erupted in 1989 and raged until 1997. It was a brutal conflict that claimed about 200,000 lives and displaced countless others. The war began when Charles Taylor and his National Patriotic Front of Liberia (NPFL) launched an invasion from Ivory Coast. Their goal was to topple the regime of President Samuel Doe. Ethnic division played a critical role. The NPFL, mainly composed of Geo and Mano people, opposed President Doe's Kerem-dominated government. This tension fueled the violence that followed. And as the war continues, foreign involvement also complicated matters. ECOWAS troops, primarily from Nigeria and Ghana, intervened, ostensibly as peacemakers, yet their presence arguably prolonged the conflict. In a dramatic tone, President Doe was captured and executed by a splitter faction, the INPFL, led by Prince Johnson in 1990. This event marked a significant shift in the war dynamics. Despite peace efforts, the fighting continues. Various factions vied for power, leading to further chaos and civilian casualties. The war finally wounded down to the Abuja Accord in 1996, leading to disarmament and election. Charles Taylor emerged as president, but the seed for further conflict has been sworn. At number 4 we have the Mozambican Civil War. The year is 1977. Mozambique was a nation barely 2 years of independence from Portuguese colonial rule. The country plugged into a brutal civil war that lasted 15 years and claimed millions of lives. This wasn't just an internal strife, it was a prosy battleground for the Cold War, with the Soviet Union backing the government and the United States supporting the insurgents. The main factions was Frelimo, the Liberation Front turned ruling party, and Renamo, the insurgent force opposing Frelimo's socialist agenda. The Mozambican Civil War was devastating. Over 1 million lives were lost and 1 million more was displaced. The countryside was destroyed with landmines and infrastructure laid was ruined. Both sides were accused of committing great human rights abuses, including the use of child soldiers. Despite the violence, The people of Mozambique yearned for peace. The conflict finally drew to a close in 1992 with the Roman General Peace Accord, leading to a multi-party election and the deployment of the United Nations peacekeepers. The legacy of the Mozambique Civil War was complex. It is a story of resilience in the face of adversity of a nation struggling for identity and governance, and of the human rights cause of ideological battle. And at number 3 we have the Nigerian Civil War. Between 1967 and 1970, Nigeria was torn apart by the war that shaped the nation's future. It was a conflict born from the ember of colonialism and ethnic division. Nigeria is a tapestry of culture and people that gained its independence in 1960, but the seeds of discord were already sown, leading to a military coup and subsequent counter-coup in 1966. On the 6th of July 1967, the southeastern region of Nigeria, predominantly known as the Igbos, declared independence as the Republic of Biafra, initiating a war that lasted for 2.5 years. General Yakubu Gowon led Nigeria, while Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumengu Ojukwu stood at the reign of Biafra. The war was marked by tragedy, a blockade of widespread famine, claiming the life of an estimated 2 million civilians. The conflict drew international attention, with foreign mercenaries and aid organizations becoming involved in the struggle. After years of fighting and suffering, the war concluded on January 15, 1970, with the resignation of the Biafra into Nigeria. The Nigerian Civil War left deep scar and taught hard lessons about unity, governance, and the human cause of conflict. And as you are watching, and in a way of supporting our work and channel, please do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Your support means a lot to us. Stay tuned and watch to the end, for there are so much a lot to learn from this video. And at number 2 we have the Second Congo War, also known as the African World War. The Democratic Republic of Congo, formerly Zaire, is a land rich in resources but plagued by conflict. The seed of the war was sown during the First Congo War and the Rwanda genocide, leading to a complex web of tension. The war initiated on the 2nd of August 1998, when Rwanda invaded the Democratic Republic of Congo, marking the beginning of the conflict that drew in multiple African nations. The war quickly escalated, with various factions fighting for control over the rich resource land. It wasn't just a war, it was a business, with minerals like coltan fueling the conflict. The human cost was staggering, as millions perished, not just from fighting but also as a result of famine and diseases. The war was marked by brutal guerrilla warfare and massacre of civilians. Foreign power had their stake too. Angola, Zimbabwe, and Nubia supported the Democratic Republic of Congo government, while Rwanda, Uganda, and Burundi backed rebel groups. The war officially ended in July 2003 with the Sun City Agreement, but the region remained volatile. The legacy of the war continued to affect the life of millions. The Second Congo War, also known as the African World War, was a stark reminder of the complexity of post-colonial Africa and international community role in such a conflict. And at number 1 we have the Second Sudanese Civil War, which is one of the Africa's most devastating conflicts, which lasted for 22 years, spanning from 1983 to 2005. This 22 years conflict was not just a war, it was a tragedy that reshaped the nation and its people. The war initiated in the southern part of Sudan, fueled by religion and cultural tension, and the discovery of oil. It spread to the Numba Mountain and the Blue Nile region, affecting countless lives. And as the war continues, 2 million souls perish, not just from fighting, but from famine and diseases. 4 million were displaced, their life uprooted by the chaos of the war. The Sudanese People Liberation Army, led by John Garang, fought against the central government, attempting to impose Sharia law and the control of the oil-rich border region. But despite the darkness, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. The Comprehensive Peace Agreement in 2005 paved the way for the birth of a new nation, South Sudan, in 2011. The Second Sudanese Civil War was a stark reminder of the cause of conflict and the enduring spirit of the people's quest for self-determination. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new and interesting about the top 7 deadliest wars fought in Africa. If you do, please like this video, give it a thumb up, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content and videos like this. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.